Hello and welcome to my channel Israel Online Maths. In this video, I'm going to solve this given problem we have on the board. Let's read out the question. The question says for the relation 3m minus h squared plus gh plus 6x, and that is equal to h in bracket 2g minus h. The first part of the question, we are asked to make g the subject of this given relation. Then the second part of the question, II, says find the value of g when h is equal to 2, m equal to 3, and x is equal to -4. First thing first, we shall target to make g the subject of this given relation. After making g the subject of this given relation, whatever we have, we can now substitute the values of h, m, and x respectively and find the corresponding value of g. So let's go ahead with the solution. Okay, we are given 3m minus h squared plus gh plus 6x, and that is equal to h in bracket 2g minus h. First thing first, let's target and open up this bracket here. And opening up the bracket, we still have 3m minus h squared plus gh plus 6x, and that is equal to h multiplied by 2g will give us 2gh. In order, okay? Then minus h multiplied by h will give us h squared. Then since I already have 2gh here and I'm concerned with making g the subject of this given relation, the next thing I will do is to add h squared to both sides of the equation so that 2gh will be on its own. What do I mean? Let me add h squared to both sides of the equation. And doing that, I now have 3m minus h squared plus gh plus 6x. Then I will now have to add h squared to this side of the equation, which is the left-hand side. Then for the right-hand side as well, the same thing will happen. I will now add h squared also. Remember, whatever I'm doing at the left-hand side of the equation should also be done at the right-hand side of the equation. So I'm adding h squared to both sides of the equation, such that this h squared will now cancel out the minus h squared, because minus h squared plus h squared is 0. Then I'm left with only 2gh at the right-hand side of the equation, and that is equal to, coming to the left-hand side, I now have 3m. Then looking at this, minus h squared plus h squared will be 0. So this will cancel out this. The meaning of this is that I collected h squared from you and I gave you back h squared to take back, okay? That means I'm not owing you again. So that is the 0, okay? So minus h squared plus h squared is 0. So we are left with 3m, and that is plus gh, then plus 6x, okay? And that is equal to 2gh. Let me just wipe out this, okay? All right, remember we are asked to make g the subject of this given relation. So let's go ahead and separate g from every other terms. That is, we have to collect like terms. And doing that, what I have to do is to subtract gh from both sides of the equation. And subtracting gh from both sides of the equation, I now have that 3m plus gh plus 6x. Then I will now have to subtract gh from the left-hand side, after which I now have for the right-hand side 2gh. I will now also have to subtract gh from the right-hand side of the equation. Whatever I should do on the left-hand side should also be done at the right-hand side. And while we are subtracting gh from both sides of the equation is because we want to ensure that this gh can cancel out this gh, okay? Because plus gh minus gh is 0, so they have cancelled out, and we are left with 3m plus 6x, and that is equal to 2gh minus gh. Remember, we are asked to make g the subject of this given relation. So what next are we to do? We now have 3m plus 6x is equal to, remember, g is common to g here. So let's factor out g. Then that is in brackets. When g divide 2gh, we are left with 2h, okay? Then minus, when g divide gh, we are left with h, okay? So let's complete the solving here. Okay? So completing the solving, we are going to divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of g. And what is the coefficient of g? The coefficient of g is in bracket 2h minus h. So we now have g in bracket 2h minus h. Then we shall divide it by the coefficient of g, which is 2h minus h. So we have 2h minus h, okay? The same thing we shall do at the other side of the equation, where we have 3m plus 6x. We shall also divide it by this same coefficient of g, which is 2h minus h, okay? Such that this, we now have to cancel out this, okay? And we are left with g alone. Therefore, let me complete it here. Therefore, our g now is equal to 3m plus 6x, okay? And that is all over 2h minus h. 2h minus h. All right, we are through with solving the first part of the question, where we are asked to make g the subject of this given relation. The second part of the question says we should find the value of g when h is equal to 2, m is equal to 3, and x is equal to -4. That simply means we shall substitute these very given values of h, m, and x respectively in this given equation. And substituting it means wherever we see m, x, and h, we shall replace them with all these values, okay? So doing that, we now have that our g is equal to 3 in bracket. What is our m? Our m is given to be 3, so we shall replace m to be 3, then plus 6 in brackets. What is x? We are giving x to be -4, so we have -4, okay? And that is all over. This is here, we have 2 in bracket. What is our h? We are giving h to be 2, so we replace it with 2, okay? Minus our h is still 2. Solving further, we then have that our g is equal to 3 times 3 is 9, then plus times minus is minus, 6 times 4 will give us 24. and that is all over. 2 times 2 is going to give us 4, and that is 4 minus 2. Solving further, we then have that our G is equal to 9 minus 24 is going to give us 15, okay, and that is all over. 4 minus 2 is going to give us 2. So here is our final answer. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Don't forget to follow my page for more of my maths videos.